Right now, your brain is stuck in a loop. It's replaying a conversation from 3 days ago. It's imagining conversations that haven't happened yet. It's running through worst-case scenarios that will probably never occur. And the worst part? You know it's happening. You can feel yourself overthinking, but you can't stop. Most people think overthinking is a character flaw, a sign that you're anxious or broken. But neuroscience reveals something different. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's actually doing exactly what evolution designed it to do, protect you from danger. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is that your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. There's a 5-second window happening right now inside your nervous system. And if you understand how to use it, you can stop overthinking before it spirals out of control. Here's what's happening when you start to overthink. Your brain detects what it perceives as a threat. This could be a critical comment from your boss, a text message that wasn't immediately answered, an awkward moment in a conversation. Your brain doesn't care if the threat is real or imagined. The second it suspects danger, it activates your amygdala, the alarm system in your brain. When your amygdala fires up, it sends a signal throughout your entire nervous system. Your body tenses. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your mind races. And then something crucial happens. Your brain starts searching for evidence that the threat is real. This is called confirmation bias, and it's incredibly powerful. Once your brain is looking for danger, it finds it everywhere. That awkward silence? Proof that they hate you. That delayed text? Proof that you're being rejected. This is the mechanism of overthinking. It's not a thought problem. It's a nervous system problem. But here's where the 5-second window comes in. Research in neuroscience has shown that there's a critical window between the moment your amygdala detects a threat and the moment your brain commits to the overthinking spiral. This window is approximately 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, you have a choice. You can let your amygdala hijack your thinking, or you can interrupt it. The technique is called physiological grounding, and it works by directly communicating with your nervous system. Here's how it works. The moment you notice yourself beginning to overthink, and this is key, you have to notice it early, you're going to engage in what's called a physiological sigh. This is a specific breathing pattern that signals to your nervous system that the threat has passed. A physiological sigh works like this. You take a breath in through your nose, just a normal breath. Then, before you exhale, you take another small breath in through your nose. Then you exhale slowly through your mouth. That's it. One cycle takes about 5 seconds. What makes this work is neuroscience. When you exhale, you activate something called the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your body's brake pedal. It's the opposite of the fight-or-flight response. The extended exhale signals to your brain that you're safe. Your amygdala begins to calm down. Your breathing naturally slows. Your thoughts begin to clear. But there's something else happening. By focusing on your breath, you're redirecting your attention away from the catastrophic thoughts. You're not trying to force the thoughts to stop. You're not trying to convince yourself that everything is fine. You're simply shifting your attention to something in the present moment. Your breathing. This breaks the rumination cycle. Think about Sarah. She's a project manager who spends her evenings replaying work meetings in her head. She remembers every question that wasn't asked, every awkward pause, every moment someone might have misunderstood her. This used to keep her awake for hours. But once she learned this technique, something changed. The moment she felt the familiar spiral beginning, she would pause. She would do the 5-second breathing pattern. And then she would notice something remarkable. The intensity of the worry had decreased. Not disappeared, but decreased. And without the intensity driving it forward, the rumination lost its power. This is important. This technique doesn't eliminate worry entirely. It reduces the intensity of the fear response. This gives your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, room to engage. Once your amygdala is calm, you can actually think clearly about whether the threat is real. You can evaluate the situation rationally instead of emotionally. Research from Stanford and UC Berkeley has found that controlled breathing practices can reduce amygdala activation by up to 40% within a single session. Other studies indicate that the physiological sigh specifically produces faster results than other breathing patterns. A study published in a neuroscience journal found that people using this technique reported reduced anxiety symptoms. Within 2 weeks of consistent practice, it's important to note that this isn't a permanent fix. You're not rewiring your brain after one practice. But with consistent use, something interesting happens. Your brain begins to learn that the 5-second window is an escape route. It learns that you can interrupt the overthinking spiral. Over time, this makes the spirals less frequent and less intense. Here's how to use this in your life, starting today. First, the moment you notice yourself entering an overthinking loop, pause. Many people don't even realize they're overthinking until they've been in it for 20 minutes. So the first step is awareness. When you catch yourself replaying a conversation, imagining negative outcomes, or analyzing what someone meant by their words, that's your signal. Second, take the 5-second breath. Inhale through your nose. Add a second inhale through your nose before you've exhaled. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this once, just one cycle. That's all you need to interrupt the pattern. Third, ground yourself in the present moment. After the breath, notice 5 things you can see around you. This pulls your attention completely out of your thoughts and into your environment. Fourth, ask yourself one question. Is there something I need to do right now about this situation? Not in an hour. Not tomorrow. Right now. If the answer is no, you have permission to stop thinking about it. That's not avoidance. That's wisdom. Fifth, if the overthinking returns, and it will because that's what patterns do, repeat the process. The more you practice, the faster your brain learns the escape route. The truth about overthinking is this. You're not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what brains do. They predict threats and try to protect you. The 5-second window exists because your nervous system is designed with an off switch. You've just never been taught how to use it. Every single time you interrupt an overthinking spiral with this technique, you're teaching your brain something crucial. You're teaching it that you can handle uncertainty without spinning into catastrophe. You're teaching it that safety is available in the present moment. And you're teaching it that you're someone who doesn't have to stay trapped in your own thoughts. The next time you feel that familiar pull to analyze, to replay, to imagine worst-case scenarios, remember, you have 5 seconds. That's all you need to break free.